Yo, 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 what is going on, COD Familia? It is your boy BN, aka Mr. Kingdom Builder. And today, it is a sad day. We are going to be reacting to a farewell video that Meower put out, one of the early CCs and content creators for Call the Dragons. Let's give it a watch.
What is up, guys? Meower here, back with my final Call of Dragons video. Yes, you heard that right. With this video pretty much marks the end of my Call of Dragons journey. So, why did it come to this? To be honest, I've kind of been losing interest in the game over the past few months. I was hoping for the upcoming patches to kind of uplift the stale state of the game where it's just becoming slowly the same loop again. New heroes equal OP equal invest in equal new heroes equal OP equal invest in, and with just consistent copying from Rise of Kingdoms and zero, really just zero innovation.
So I just want to pause it there for a sec. I just want to comment on the loop part. That in and of itself, I do tend to agree with, which is that, you know, the newest heroes that come out do not necessarily need to be the most OP. To me, it's almost as though it would be great for them to have tactical and almost strategic usages compared to just, oh, well, hey, this is like the new meta, if you will. And that's not to say that I think every single hero pairing that has come out has been that, but most of them have, from people I've spoken to and talked to, and also from the trends that we typically see, whether that's in the open field or garrison and rallies, when we do have new heroes that are being introduced. And I'm not necessarily talking about the gathering ones, right, but the ones that are more PvP focused. So I do tend to agree there.
For so much potential that Call of Dragons had, just left me in kind of a loop of should I keep going, should I quit? To be honest, I wanted to kind of hold on till the Roots of War Championship, but I figured, you know what, this is just not worth me trying to hold on as much as possible. So, what's next for me? Pretty much for now, I'll probably.
So before he goes into that, I just want to touch on the innovation part. The ROW series or ROW League that is supposed to be coming out, I do think that there is some potential there depending on when it does. However, as I said before, and I've stated this in previous videos, they need to really up their game to make it more of a kind of spectator esport friendly viewing experience where you allow for people to go and watch highlighted matches, you allow for content creators to go and do commentary or analysis or gameplay review on matches, allowing maybe being able to watch matches live with a delay, so that way content creators can stream those even if they are outside of their own alliance. Like, you really have to think about how are you going to make this a great spectator viewing experience for the consumer. And right now it is not that. You don't have the opportunity to do that. Sure, if you're in the alliance, you can go and watch the ROW matches from your alliance, and they only had recently added that. You were only able to really watch it if you were participating in it before. So kind of a very slow rollout and not really thinking, excuse me, overall big picture on how to very well integrate this into the community to get more eyeballs on it. Right? The only people that probably really care about ROW at the moment, based on what the limitations are the people that are participating in it, and maybe a handful of people that care to watch if they're in the alliance. But beyond that, you don't really have this opportunity to, for example, see a flood of content, see a flood of clips, a flood of highlight reels, people doing live streaming for it. This is something I would love to do. Like, if there was, and again, I should say I'd love to live stream more, but being able to go and watch matches and review them and do breakdowns, those are things I would love to do. Only if I was able to go and watch matches from, you know, whether it's top alliances or even if it's from like really balanced matches or matchups that we're getting across the spectrum, regardless of what season we're in. You just don't really have that opportunity right now. And so I just feel like that is a pretty big letdown, and I do somewhat agree with where Meower's coming from on this, which is that the rollout does feel a little bit slow, at least to us. Again, maybe internally it's right on time for them. I'm only going off of how it feels from an outsider looking in.
Probably gonna maybe shelf mobile games for a while. I'll still be on Discord if anyone wants to reach out, and I'll still leave the Discord intact. But I think this will be my last video for Call of Dragons. I won't say ever, I'll leave the door slightly open, but knowing myself and my personality, once I quit a game, I kind of never really return because, well, I'm the type of guy that's sort of a completionist or perfectionist. So I always want to max everything, always want to get my hands on everything. So knowing that once I quit, my account will pretty much be outdated, there's just no point of me coming back. Honestly, not even to pilot
Excuse
people,
me.
not even I've been struggling to open the game in general. You can even notice from the quality of the mic that it's awful. I don't even have my usual headset. Kind of just, given up on the whole thing altogether. So, on that on that regards, thank you so much for the past 2 wonderful years. I would love to give a big, big, big appreciation.
And I want to pause it again here because he had said something that really stood out to me here, which is that Meower views himself as a completionist, right? And clearly, with the size of his account, he spends some money. And this idea of that you're kind of always chasing, which leads into what he was saying before, of wanting to have the newest thing, max the newest thing, whatever's the meta, whatever's the most popular, wanting to 100% grind. That's, unlocking all your artifacts, getting all your heroes, maxing them out, maxing your artifacts out, getting war pets, maxing those out, right? And maxing isn't up to that's where you're attempting to get to, even if you don't get there for every single one, right? The hope is that you're trying to get the best stats possible over a period of time. And so when you think about that and the fact that it almost, given if you have that mindset and you spend money on the game, you will inherently keep spending money as they keep releasing new resources and material. And so I can understand where some people will have that POV on, man, this just kind of feels like a never-ending cycle. And I'm not saying that it should ever be an ending cycle, but I can understand that perspective of, hey, they're coming out with this thing. I need to get it. I need to spend money on it. Otherwise, it just doesn't feel good to me. Like I have this kind of min-max approach. It's almost kind of like when you're playing story mode-based games, or, man, when I used to play Grand Theft Auto all the time, and you'd want to do 100% story and 100% side missions, right, and kind of everything, because you just really want to be able to say that, hey, I did everything, right, from 100 over 100.
And thanks to Octodonut, to Capigia, to Rusty Leo, to even the sweetheart Asia who left the team, and to Cheesecake and everyone else in the team for doing such an amazing job. As much as we give them slack, there's really not much they can do about it when it comes to the direction of the game. However, they've been nothing but amazing, professional, helpful people, at least in my experience, in my content creation journey. You might be wondering what happens to the channel. Well, I've
And I want to point out what he said there because that is very important. I can't double down on that enough and stress that, people that are mods and or people that are on the creator team or any other department that is not a development department or is not a in-game feature decision-making department, which mods and people on the CC team are not, right? And even customer service people are not. Right, the way that we approach them should be appropriate with a realistic understanding of the capabilities of their position. And that might be like a mouthful to some people, but it is the truth, because you will have some, I don't want to say bad actors, but you will have some people that it almost kind of feels like poison the pond a little bit with the way that they go about talking to these individuals with unrealistic expectations or just kind of poor decorum, poor mannerisms, poor ways of approaching them and the way that they talk to people, when it's okay to vent your frustrations or how you feel about it, but you can always do it with choosing words that are more appropriate and thoughtful, and you could still get the same point across, right? You don't have to just throw out FUs, right? You can say, man, this sucks. I'm not a fan of this. Very easy transition. I can also understand that it might be difficult in the heat of the moment, or if you find something out and there's kind of an emotional response. But still, right, really think about the people that you're talking to, because those individuals are just doing their jobs. Regardless of how you may feel about it, they are another person on the other side of the screen, and they also have limitations that may not always be the capabilities that you think they may have. Right, so I always like to try and keep that in mind when I'm speaking to people, because if I don't know exactly what all their capabilities are, as in what actually can they do and can they not do, I should not go into this conversation assuming one thing when it turns out that that's just not the case at all.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. YouTube for me has always been a hobby. I never really had any plans of pursuing this full time, though I am extremely grateful for the size of the channel, the growth that we have reached, the name that we've made ourselves in the community. You know, just your favorite old meow meowing cat, just spewing information and developing some crazy theories when most of the time all I really do is just give platform for people that are much smarter than me and just let their work shine. So, on that note, thank you so much for tagging along in our crazy journey. Again, I'll probably be shelving mobile games for a while. I haven't really had that much time to play the game recently to begin with, and I haven't really wanted to make time to play the game. Kind of just completely burnt out. So, in that regard, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for keeping up. Again, amazing shout out to the team over there at Lilith for, well, being absolutely amazing and professional in my experience with them. And honestly, for everyone else, I'm not like deleting Discord or anything. I'll still be around. I'll still sometimes pop in the community and everything, but it will be definitely much less frequent, as I'll probably either be leaving a bunch of Discords or just straight up muting most of the notifications from irrelevant Discords to me. Big shout out to everyone that I have dealt with over the past couple of years. It's been a long journey. Well, we've had over 700 days locked in. I think that's a bit too much already. And yeah, honestly, I don't even know what to say anymore. And I don't want to drag this video on too long or get emotional or whatever. So, on that note, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my content. Be sure to check out other content creators. I know a lot of them are on the rise, especially my boy Guns. I wish him big success, especially because I know he has what it takes to grow. Big shout out to bossnasti as well, and Hawksden, and really just all the other content creators. I know they've been doing an amazing job and they deserve every single success they've been getting. But on that note, I believe this will be my final sign out for this video. So, as usual, have a wonderful day. Unfortunately, I will not be seeing you in the next video. However, still, meow meow.
That's what the meow 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 at the end. Love it, man. It has been a wild ride, man. I again, excuse me. I've known Meower for a while. Gosh, it's been what, maybe almost 2 years. And I think he had got into the content a little bit after I had came on to the team. I think I might have been either the first or the second content creator that had got, or at least one of the first, I should say, one of the few first. And then I saw Sneaky, then I saw Meow. I think Chiz was in there. Shinchi was doing some stuff. Omni was doing some stuff for a little bit, and obviously others as well that early on. But for him to see him kind of go and grow from where he was to where he is now, I will say it is a little bit bittersweet because, I do think Meower could continue his channel and transition it to, another kingdom builder, maybe do different types of content and topics. And I'll say, man, this is one of the reasons why, for those that wonder on the content that I put out, like if I was doing this full time, and most people know because I've said this already numerous times, I would love to be able to actively play an account. It's just that for me, I realized pretty early on that if I wanted to be able to do everything that I want to produce and I want to put out content wise, even though I still don't have nearly enough time, there's just no way I would be able to spend the amount of time I would have to spend in game, because that takes away from all the research, all the I don't want to say filler, but all the time that I would need to spend putting content together, and it would take away from that. And so, I almost wonder if Meower could go and play either other kingdom builders. Maybe he wants to do something non-mobile, or maybe we'll find something if it comes along, or even just potentially transitioning content. Because, I can tell you, I love the stuff that I do, and it doesn't require for me to actively or consistently play the game. And for areas that I'm just not privy to, for areas that I'm not knowledgeable in or experienced in, I just do the smart thing. I stay away from those. And or I will ask people that are knowledgeable, that are experienced in those areas, to get information from them. So that way I can provide my take and view on situations from kind of, I guess, vicariously right through them, through others. However, the part about the innovation, this is the last thing I'll touch on. I do agree, because I've stated this a couple times, the innovation aspects of COD, even though they are still there, they are still prevalent. It is something that you almost wonder, why are they not doing more of those things? And, I think some examples would be, expanding more of the open field play, really diversifying that, allowing for more kind of unit, like harder unit counters, doing things where, maybe you bring back barricades, right? Maybe you add in other buildable structures, but you limit them, right? Where it's like one per player as an example, and you'd have like a limit for how many you can build per a flag or on a flag's territory. Being able to maybe have behemoths be a little bit more kind of like free roaming, right? Where maybe it's not limited to a flag region or stronghold city attack, stronghold flag attacking or defending, right? Maybe, I don't know if you do it like all over the map, but like little things where it kind of doubles down on the things that COD does well. I think the artifact usages, and we're starting to get kind of more of these like crowd control type of tactical artifact skills that I think is really good when you're using those things on field, right? Like the new shield where you can push someone up or down a ramp or off a cliff, someone said. If that's true, like those are things that, even just add a different layer and flavor to the game. Being able to do things like what we talked about with the statues, right? Like, why not have objective modes that you do? Like, treat the ruining statue area like a minigame, where you do rotating objectives or objective type modes within that space. Like, just investing and continuing the innovation in these areas. Like, why not add something like elevation, right? Where if you're on a cliff, you get like a 5% range bonus, right? Something small, but, it would be like 1 or 2 character lengths, right? You can always fiddle and play with the percentage on the range. Like, just doing things that you're not really seeing any other well-known, popular kingdom builder and or at all that are doing them. And again, this is just, throwing some things out there. So I do agree there that I think there is a breadth of room for continued and consistent innovation, and it just feels like, we're just not really getting there and not there at the moment. With that in mind, I appreciate Meower Man and everything he's done for the community. Make sure you guys come and give the video a like. I'll have a link to it in the description and maybe pin comment below. And yeah, man, make sure you share some love, post a comment. I did already. I gave it a thumbs up myself. And yeah, man, hopefully whatever he decides to get into next, if anything at all, man, wishing him the best success. So sucks to lose a great one. With that in mind, that's it for me. As always, until next time, we'll catch you later.